don't think I didn't notice that, Sabatender. Anyways, welcome friends to the race. I'm Matt Aranda Crick, being joined by Leaf, and we know a lot of these people that you're going to be seeing on this screen today, which just makes this the perfect race to call. We have What's My Me, or Where's My Meme Item, with the 1-0 series lead up against the Underachievers. How's it going, Leaf?
It's going well, Rick. Also joining us here in the booth is our tracker today, solo tracking 4 runners. So we salute them. Variety.
Yep. Special thanks to Variety for giving us the buttons that we need. Hopefully we will see some good racing between these two teams. Underachievers need this to force a game 3. I think we are underway. Let's go! All dungeons. What's the current game plan?
Well, all dungeons, info share. As expected, you can see someone starting at each spot to tell you, hey, this item's here. And yeah, I missed what was in Link's house because I was actually arranging windows, so I could see
Boomerang.
Boomerang? Okay. But otherwise, starting sword in that's vanilla sword on Uncle.
I'm not convinced that's vanilla.
You're right. If it were vanilla, it would be a sword and a shield.
You're right.
But where we can only give one item at a time, we have a sword.
All right, so we have 10 arrows at the Lumberjack, so we're not going to have the kill Aga for an item, but, well, as you know, it's all dungeons. We still have to kill them.
It's all dungeons. It's... Classes, both wizards and Ganon.
So if you look at this race on paper, what would you say about these two teams?
Well, you've got kind of a newer blood rando here, and Amara's been around a while, and then you've got Peach, who's newer in the past year or two, and then you've got Old Guard on the other side with P-Train and Sabatender. They've been around literally since the start of the league, and longer than that, because P-Train and Sabo have both been around for, what, 2018? 2017?
Sabatender was in the fall 2017 tournament.
So I keep forgetting that's P-Train's sprite. I have no room to talk about making fun of P-Train's sprite, do I?
You mean the bobblehead sprite?
I have no room to talk, though, do I? I have inflicted my cursed staring sprite on you. So...
Alright, so we are picking up some rupees, being told the teammates where to go, and I guess really it's no different than any of the co-ops that you've seen during the course of this season. It all comes down to letting your teammate know where they need to go, where they don't need to go, and just filling in the blanks. And whomever can kind of route the best and try to keep their teammates away is the team that you'll see come away with the advantage at the end.
P-Train getting down real low there, but getting through that ball and chain. Amara's, both of them had a time with the ball and chain there.
Yeah, and some of it, of course, was to try to set up a death warp here so they can get to Dark Cross. Because in co-op mode, it kind of matters a little bit more that you're covering as many bases as possible. And if you have to send your teammate in to cover in those loose chests, that's going to be time you're going to lose. But you are obviously going to be hearing from your teammate that the bow is going to be in Blind's hideout and that the hammer is there in the chicken coop. Now, Pichu is going down here with some bombs, and Sabatender, unfortunately, having a little bit of an issue with the chicken coop bomb. Don't worry, I'll tease Sabatender about that a little bit later on. Of course, Sabatender is one of our fellow admins on the main tournament side, and I know Amarith has done a lot of hard work, especially for what she's doing for this upcoming weekend.
I mean, for one, Amarith is one of the league admins. So we have
That is
a league admin versus a main tourney admin trying to prove to us which tournament is better.
I mean, we could already answer which one is better.
The one that lets you play with your friends?
The one that lets you play with your friends, yes.
But looking at we haven't seen a lot here in Hyrule Castle. We're going all the way through, though, so...
Yeah, both runners getting the key rat without any major issues. Okay, that's a pretty big thing that Sabatender has missed out on.
Did Sabo just leave the boots in the back of Blind's hideout?
Yeah, he went in without a bomb.
That's not what you want to see, though P-Train is going to be going over there pretty quickly with bombs, so Sabo will know he needs to make his way right back.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where it's going to be unfortunate because Sabatender's going to find out that he's going to have to come back to get those. Just hopefully he makes sure. That's vanilla!
That's vanilla!
And Chad is right. It's just one item. How bad could it be? Really, unfortunately, what Sabatender's about to find out, he's going to have to come back to get those boots. Boots, something that you want to have as early as you possibly can.
I will say, we do know that P-Train will be happy to have those.
I mean, P-Train will be, and that was something that we were discussing in the pre-race conversation. I know we were talking with the Amarith a little bit, and was hoping that the boots would be somewhat deep. Unfortunately, it's Beer 1.
So, we'll see if Saboteur's just going to be save and quitting here from the Floodgate check. Because, again, boots are something you want as soon as possible.
Yeah, you definitely do. So, this is game number 2. This is the pick of Where's My Meme item. They chose this mode. And Glove is underneath the water. So, if this game comes down to a game 3, GFE is kind of not shy about what he prefers for the mode in the co-ops.
I mean, for one, I will point out that I will point out that I was going to call them Sphere Fin because that's what they were for 4 seasons. Worth a note, the Underachievers are the only remaining completely unchanged team from Season 1 of the league.
Back when they were Spirit Affinity, and then they became missing playoffs when they kept missing the playoffs in Invitational League. Playoffs. And then they got relegated, and now they're the Underachievers.
And they didn't miss playoffs. But, it's worth noting that they are some of the less favorable toward pilot spoiler.
P.S. We just found silvers in the ice rod chest.
So we have silver arrows already?
Yes, we do, and that's some place that Sabatender has now left off as a one-off.
Just unfortunate happenstance from that boots miss.
Which is understandable, what Sabatender's up to at this stage. It's just, at this point, now we're doubling back for 2 items. As we find out, our green pennant is the Palace of Darkness. Again, this is a case where it doesn't matter as much. That's the Fire Rod, I believe.
It doesn't matter as much, but we do like to know specifically our green pendant and our red crystals.
Yes.
Because, well, yes, we do like to know our pendants because pendants have this little thing where the progression to get into them can, in fact, be in Ganon's Tower. But also, green pendant can be turned into Saha for an item because there is an item there even. It's Pegasus Boots. And the red crystals are our access to the Pyramid Fairy.
Bombo's up on the Lake Hylia Island, and I know what Pichu's up to at this point. This is a keep myself away from what Amarith is doing on the eastern side of the world. As we find bottle number 1. I guess the question is, where is our Moon Pearl? And I've got funny feelings about that book.
I do too. Though this Eastern Palace is clearable, and where was Fire Rod?
In Saha's hut.
This is a logical clear of Eastern Palace, because we do have Big Key in the front 3.
I'm not convinced.
There's our other glove.
I'm not convinced.
So, where's our flute? So we can just have our, where's our flute and our mirror so we can have a, checkerboard cave. That's what I'm thinking of.
I am not convinced.
Not convinced? Thank you, homemade beer.
I deserve that.
I'll be completely honest, I read that joke and I almost said, oh, thank you, Dad made beer, so.
I was tempted to say Fred, because we all know Fred does that same thing.
Yes, he does.
Alright, so Sabotender's about to get the fire rod. It looks like everyone here has now converged over here, especially now that Pichu has learned that there is a glove over here. It looks like Pichu has not gotten the water under the dam there, or the glove that's under the dam there. So probably, yeah, this seed is smelling a trip over to Desert Palace.
It really is. And I believe we've been joined in here by a second tracker, so welcome in Ike here. Because no one should have to track alone, but we do appreciate Variety for being willing to.
Yeah, Variety doing tracking for 4 people through the first portion of this race is absolutely bonkers.
Don't you love seeing 4 runners in each? Okay, excuse me. Don't you love seeing? Okay, now we can see 3 runners.
P-Train did not grab any arrows, so we're gonna have a slower back here to this room. Pichu's got the silver, so we'll have the fastest Armos kill.
Peach will also have the most dangerous trip through Eastern because Pichu does not have a sword.
Pichu is fine.
I still love that 3-arrow strat.
It's sweet.
Amarith grabbed
Right.
1 thing of arrows.
All 3 items have been found here in Eastern, so we are up against the Armos just to claim the prize of getting this dungeon complete.
Worth noting that chat has pointed out that we have found one of the eponymous meme items.
What is the meme items?
The meme items, well, if you look at their logo at the bottom there, you can vaguely make out a single arrow, a bug net, and a blue cane. There's lore behind it, I swear.
So which one did we just find?
We found the blue cane.
I'm not convinced.
Okay. Then don't look at the tracker.
I mean, I am ignoring the tracker.
Please don't ignore our trackers. They do very hard work, and we appreciate them.
Well, yes, they do. That doesn't become enough to convince me. As B-Train checks our bonk rocks and gets 10 arrows. And Silver's killing off the Armos real fast, and Both Amarith and Pichu will have their crystals up, and Sabatender trying to get this cane of Burna. Unfortunately, having a little bit of issues in this room is just going to get the anti-fairies to move away. Now, don't get hit by them 3 times. All right, so P-Train's heading up the mountain.
I think Ameri's doing the same thing.
Amarith's going to do the same thing. This is where Pichu's going to go down towards the desert paths. There we go. I was about to say, please don't die, because having to restart at the old man midway through that cave is not a fun experience.
It's better than dying before you get the old man and go. That's a good thing to know about on the rupee crab. Our rupee crab is backwards. Isn't the vanilla 1 rupees and then a 20 is the last prize?
Yes.
Okay, the rupee crab is backwards today.
All right, P-Train's about to get the Titan's mitts here, and Pichu's about to find out about the Titan's mitts. All right, so what do you think is the item we're about to get here in this desert area?
The lamp and the magic cape.
Why are you like this, Leaf?
You invited me.
Yes, I did. That doesn't mean I can't ask that question. All right, P-Train's going into desert.
Sabo has his first crystal. Amarith is checking the items on top of the mountain.
Makes sense. So this is the Moon Pearl. It's not.
It's money.
It's money, which you're going to grab in this situation.
Well, Zora's outstanding and in logic.
Yes, it is. And Pichu only got the chance to look at what is on the ledge. Didn't have the rupees for Zora. And that's a tough one to leave behind, too.
And there's just a piece of heart here. So we're running out of places for progression for me.
I can think of 2 places right now, in addition to Zora.
Second item in desert, King's Tomb, and
3. Okay, so we've got King's Tomb, we have Zora. Second item in desert, and Agina.
Oh, we haven't checked Agina yet.
So that's 4.
Sabo's giving us our Agina check.
Moon Pearl, Big Chest, Desert.
Okay.
So, if I'm a Amarith in this situation, I go in, I get that Moon Pearl. There's the second medium item. So if I'm a Amarith, I go in, I get this Moon Pearl, and considering the fact that you are going to have to come back here to do Mire, since this is all dungeons, try to lump it together with completion of Mire.
I was thinking the same thing. I would also consider trying to lump these together for Mire. I'd also be... Apparently P-Train and Pichu both disagree.
I mean, one of them beating the dungeon's fine. It's just the other one I'm like, get in, get your Moon Pearl, get out. Because the big thing about all dungeons co-op is getting information about where your items are. And there's 2 different sciences. Like, we do see chat talking about the potential of finishing this dungeon here while we are here. It's like you've got the equipment to do so, go ahead and do so. It's just, in Amarith's case, she doesn't have the silvers yet. Yes, we had the fire rod, which is a fine equipment as it is, but in Pichu's case, you have the silvers. Although we are going to do Fire Rod strats. There's no wrong decision here. It's just, to me, I think at this stage you want to get some Dark World information to your teammate. You know what I'm saying, Leaf?
Yes, I see what you're saying. I will say, the one argument against that is we don't know status on either Mire or Swamp. So, not knowing if Mire's pendant or Swamp is pendant in the mirrors in GT, it might be better just do it now.
True. And I guess the other counter argument here is that you have both the hammer and the mitts access to the Dark World. So if you really want to divide your work, have one go start with Hype Cave, have the other one start with the Village of Outcasts.
Pichu had to take a moment to pick up the sword.
And this makes sense, especially if you are starting to go towards a route that's going to have you take you towards Skull Woods.
I will admit, if I were on meme items here, I would have personally sent Pichu toward Hype Cave and gone up toward Catfish and pick up the sword while doing the pyramid check.
Yeah, but we don't have a mirror.
We don't have a mirror. You're absolutely right. The mirror's just in not in Hype Cave because we already checked that over on.
All right, so 5-6 is Swamp and Mire.
Thieves and Turtle. I don't like Turtle Rock. I don't like that in all.
Yeah, but we already had the Fire Rod and the Ice Rod.
Ah, we do have an Ice Rod. I missed that in Hype Cave while we were discussing hypotheticals.
Yep. There's our first legal bottle.
Doesn't lead to anything.
Yeah, but you're going to make that check. You have to make that check here in co-op.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, this also comes into a place where you can try to use the abilities of your opponents as your decision-making here. Like, if you feel like your opponents are a little weaker on the routing or the execution, perhaps you can be a little more thorough with your checks. Whereas somebody who you feel like is going to be a stronger opponent, you might be trying to consider some skips down the road.
I mean, at this stage, everybody's a strong opponent.
Exactly. I mean, we're in the playoffs.
Playoffs?
Yeah. You know, that thing that you and I are commentating instead of playing?
You tried to get me into the playoffs.
I tried to help. Just co-op Randomizer was too strong.
We haven't found much here in the Village of Outcasts.
All right, P-Train heading towards the pyramid.
Powder was also in the...
Yes, it was. Which is a bad place to find it because that person now becomes the person that's going to be doing the Brett Smith Rescue Tour.
Yay. Did I sound excited enough for you?
No.
Would you like me to try again?
I would like you to do it once more with feeling.
Okay. Yay.
I
Better?
felt that one. I felt the disappointment in your voice.
Meanwhile, we have P-Train going to Palace of Darkness. Sabotender is... You know how you said something about the powder person being the Red Smith chain?
Sabotender's saying screw that. And getting the mushroom as a result.
Oh, good. We are not bow-locked in Palace of Darkness, which is really funny given we have 2 of them.
Yeah, Meredith is now going to be taking her single bow and heading into the Palace of Darkness.
First, we have to go get the monkey back.
Why?
Because Amaris took a hit, and the monkey is scared.
What did I tell Amerith about taking hits while dealing with monkeys?
Only
Here
do
we
it
go.
on blue skies.
And P-Train tries it once and gives up.
Does P-Train go for the funny hover?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Does this surprise you?
This is my surprised face.
It looks like the regular Leaf face.
You might notice neither of us have webcam.
This isn't SpeedGaming Live.
Exactly. Next year, maybe I'll make that joke and it'll be funny.
Yes, I will. One of these 4 I did commentary with during SGL. And if I remember correctly, that may have been the last time I did Link to the Past Randomizer commentary.
It might have been. Oh, hey, P-Train found an... So, okay, they all have an armor upgrade. It's just I'm telling you, still looking at these spray. You know, Amara's spray is actually hard to tell what the armor color is. I must have missed the armor upgrade getting picked up somewhere.
So for P-Train, it was over here behind the Mimics. Amerith is about to get it.
So what you're saying is there's an armor upgrade in both of these dungeons?
Yes. That is exactly what I'm telling you.
Hey, don't you like low heart blind?
I think Pichu likes it a little bit better with that cape that she got in the big chest.
Okay. 5. We're a little off script now.
Yeah, this is where I would throw the cape and get it ready, and that's exactly what Pichu does. That was almost dangerous. Got it.
Under control. Not worried in the slightest.
It's a double key rupee basement for P-Train.
Oh, hey, look, a big key.
We need that.
Yeah. I was about to make a joke. You can get around it, but no, I actually don't know the glitches to get around it. You can get around it, but they're not legal.
Where's Melmo when we need her?
Hey, look, a Quake medallion.
We know where all 3 of our medallions are.
Where's Bombos?
It's on the island in the Lake Hylia Island.
Okay.
P-Train trying to figure out where exactly he is in this dark maze.
That fireball almost clipped him.
And this is tough to do while you are talking to your teammate as they're giving you instructions where things are.
That is the moment where, at least on my team, we were very good at the I'm in a dark room, please hold.
Yeah. Oh!
Oh no!
Whoops. That's right, because P-Train visited Stumpy.
Amarith?
Okay, Marith just quaked.
No, I'm the one quaking right now.
There we go. And P-Train shows that chest. Who is boss?
How many arrows into the side of the chest?
3.
That lineup is actually kind of hard to get sometimes.
It is, because you're dealing with such a small hitbox with the arrows. It's just funny that you 3 of them right against the side like that.
I mean, I'd be mad at it too after it gives you a map and you have to try and hover to the right side for your key.
Yes, exactly.
Meanwhile, Pichu's in school.
Yes, Pichu is. Very
Have we
nearly
found-
got grabbed.
Five heart,
Pretty-
blue mail. This is a
No-
fine fight with Moth coming up.
Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about.
I mean, I know she's done lower percentage. You have a hammer. What more do you need?
I mean, shoutouts to teammate Zeruvian for doing 4-heart Mothula
I know, and I saw that clip.
back in, what was that, game 1?
Yup.
Part of the reason why that they were able to score that victory. Now, P-Train needs to be a little careful here down to 2 hearts.
Yep.
Blue mail,
has 3 hearts going in.
1 heart. Got it.
Got it. All right, and let's go from one tense boss fight to another down bottom left corner.
Pichu versus Mothula.
Pichu, you have a hammer.
Now switching over to the said hammer, almost as if she heard you.
Which would be amazing, given that we are 10 minutes in the... This is on a 10-minute delay. And also, they're not supposed to be watching.
Be careful, down to 3 hearts, 2
2.
hearts, 1 heart.
Has a potion.
Yeah, you gotta use it here.
Meanwhile, Amarith.
And Helmstar down. And Sabotender's here in Skullwoods as well. Ooh-wee. This is what all dungeons is all about.
That's our green pendant, too. So... Moth! Moth!
Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Whoa.
Oh boy! Oh dear!
I'm not out of this yet. Oh!
That was unfortunate.
And that's unfortunate for multiple reasons. Because if you are to stay in here, you have to deal with the rebuilding of your magic. By the way, I think Sabotender got something underneath the bridge that's going to help with this Mothula fight.
Yes, he did.
And Pichu's going to be wishing she had that for round 1.
That would have helped in round 1.
It really would have. Unfortunately, I think the issue with Pichu was Mothula stayed a lot towards the spikes, and then just things kind of got a little iffy afterwards.
Unfortunately, has to leave because of this
Yep.
magical shortage. So,
So we will see from Sabotender, potentially, if anything is on Mothula. Best case scenario is that this is nothing, and you can come back later when you're in blitz mode.
How to tell you're a teammate with Fred Coughlin? You're one of the few people I know who uses the term blitz mode. Nice patience here from Sabo.
Just trying to make sure. There it is. Fight is done. Make sure that Mathida goes nowhere. It's just the map. So the other item's going to be in this section here that Pichu's on.
Which
And
Sabo
it's going to
found
be in the
earlier.
pinball room.
And P-Train has our blacksmith. And on Smith's today...
Lamp! Right, Sabatender got the lamp. All right, that's right.
Yeah. Only a heart container on the Smiths. So...
All right, so Sabatender now knows where the lamp is, so we'll have an easier time through the Palace of Darkness. And Sabatender's going to be trading in that mushroom, seeing how important that is.
I mean,
It looks like it looks like Sabatender's hurrying because P-Train being in that general area wants to find out from Sabatender how much he cares about this.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, if you look at the timing on this, this is beautiful.
Yeah, this is a do I go and now Sabatender oh boy.
That's a justice.
If only P-Train waited another second.
Yeah.
Now, I
both
thought
runners
that
were
was
even-
planned. I thought that was planned that way that those two were trying to get that things to work out. It sounds like, based on what we just saw in the video here, there was not that communication. Just give me a second. Hold on. I'm almost there. Hold on.
P-Train will tell us if there's anything here on Purple Chest today, and there is not. You get a heart and a quarter for doing the entire Smith chain.
Skip the bread
I'd like a
Smith chain.
refund.
Okay, here's your 10 rupees back.
Thank you.
And Chad's pointing out that this is not a horrible thing. It's just more of the... Could have just, while you're on that same screen, just grab that mushroom, save the frames.
It's not bad. Like, Julia's right. Julia's right. It's not as bad as it might out to be. But also, it was a timing that could have been avoided.
Right.
Sabo going up the mountain. Sabo is the first one going up the mountain here,
Oh, Pichu got stuck on the ledge.
Did Pichu
in the
get
rocks.
glitched?
Glitched.
Oh no! And what is the proper thing to do when you get clipped out of bounds like that?
Get back in bounds.
Actually, if you can't, you save and quit immediately.
Exactly.
This is not OWG. P2 doesn't play that. Actually, only one person on the screen plays OWG. And she's
And
on top
who is
left.
that? There's the silvers for P-Train as Sabo Tender's going to be showing us what's in Spike Cave. I have thought...
I don't think so.
Yeah, you need a little more magic. That's unfortunate. We've all been there.
I have a more thing to call out here. Sabo, you have had the blue cane.
Yes.
Pichu is going to go check Zora.
Yeah, so too is P-Train, I guess. They both can tell us what's on Zora at the same time.
I will admit, I gotta applaud Pichu. Pichu's taking Smith to Zora.
How's that feel?
I actually imagine it's not helping here with the lag.
Well, that's right. We don't use Fast ROM here in the league.
No, we don't.
And also, P-Train
Pichu.
is in fake flipper mode.
Pichu.
Yeah, I could have just swam around it.
Today's comment is everybody has something to use, and they're not using it.
Sabotender's about to go pick up the silver arrows. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of these runners makes a play into ice.
Won't you take me somewhere nice?
Yeah, you can't go into Hyrule Castle with that.
Unfortunately, being able to go into connector entrances with the Smith is an entrance randomizer thing, not a normal thing.
Yep.
I forget what was the Narrow Castle.
I don't remember at all.
Unless Pichu was going for the Aga into pod routing?
Potentially, but even there, you're going to lose the breadsmith. Even if you were allowed into Aga Tower, you're going to lose the breadsmith once you get to pod because of the no 2 follower.
I mean, that part of that is Ameris just told Pichu that there's nothing on the Smith chain.
Yeah. Well, that's true. You're right. And now Pichu's gonna head over and do Aga.
I mean,
It
what
needs to be done.
else is there right now? Oh,
Ice
No.
Palace.
yeah, it's an Ice Palace is the play right now.
And that's where Sabotender's going.
Right, we have a fire rod.
Yes, we do. So our focus is going to be over here on the bottom right. Sabotender is going to show us what this next progression chain is.
Don't you love silver arrows? It's the mirror.
Don't you like the mirror?
Yes, I do.
All right, so now we can go into Hookless Swamp. We can get over towards the right side of the mountain. The amount of plays have just opened up to us.
Please don't say Hookless Swamp. You might somehow influence America to go into it. And this is, no, this is a joke, but also, Amerith is a big fan of Hookless Swamp for some reason, and it scares me.
Honestly, at this point, I think that's something that Where's My Meme item needs. Because they honestly lost a bit of time due to a couple of the oops that we've seen from Pichu over the last 10 minutes.
The moth
Not
fight,
necessarily the oops of dying to Mothula. Mothula is not an easy fight, but
the Smith and between the Smith and getting glitched out of bounds, which getting glitched out of bounds can happen to anybody.
yeah.
It could happen to you, it could happen to me, it could happen to Pichu. Oh, it did happen to Pichu.
And Marith finishing off with the Mothula fight to get the map, and Pichu does need to have a little careful run here with the Aga with the heart and a half.
And Sabo is through the Ice Palace. I assume we had a bomb jump there.
Yeah.
So we found a mirror. Will we find anything else?
We will find 2 more items, Leaf.
We will.
I have a feeling one of them is going to be semi-substantial. The other one is not.
Well, there's your not, so let's see if you're right. This is such a bad layout for Ice Palace.
What makes it bad?
We have 2 items, no keys, no King Mario to get through to the right side, no hookshot to get over there logically. So, I think that mirrors currently our logic unless there's something good in Iced Tea.
Where were keys in Ice Palace? We have no idea. All we've seen are 2 items. Now a dungeon item in the compass.
All the keys are on the right side.
And while we wait for Sabatender to make way to somewhere...
This is Cold Stare play. There's nowhere else Sabo can go.
Well, while we wait for Sabatender to get over to the boss...
I don't like meme items routing right now. Meme items just covering each other's tracks and not going to Ice Palace.
Yeah, this is a case of catching up on your crystals, and this is just going to allow the Underachievers to get more exploration.
Alright, how do you like your Cold Stare fights?
Not with the current 5 hearts equipment that we're looking at. But this is all Dungeons co-op. Anxiety Central.
I thought Randomizer was Anxiety Central. Now we're in Oko from Puff.
And now we're Oko from everything. And P-Train takes a death to Mothula. Sabatender takes a death to Cold Stare.
Simultaneous deaths on the Underachievers side. That is not a boss you want to die to in Cold Stare.
Yep, and Sabo has to leave this stage.
So, the bosses are bloodthirsty today. That's what we're learning. Because, I'd like to point out, the, Helma fights weren't free either.
Nothing was free. Nothing about this seed has been free at all. And just remember, if Underachievers comes away with a victory here, what they potentially, more than likely, will be dealing with in Game 3.
A little bit of information from previous discussions. GFE is already confirmed it's going to be Randomizer.
Mothula down for P-Train. I mean, chat wants to remind me that it's 100% something, but it's more of the, it's, until it's on the schedule, it's still likely, but not confirmed.
I mean, yes, but...
Okay. Leaf,
Okay.
chat, 99%. 99%. It's Randomizer.
I mean, I'm saying 100 because GFE has confirmed it.
I'm not convinced.
Are you ever convinced of anything, Rick? Also, I'd like to point, I will admit, if I knew I was going to be fighting a Cold Star Squim, I might have actually considered just veering out from the mirror, going around, getting the bombos, and then going right back in.
Yeah. Still got to get some magic, though.
I'm saying, when you first found the mirror.
True. You're right. All right, so Amareth's going to show us what's in this spike cave, providing she's able to get through this.
This is probably the biggest out for meme item right now.
They're finally taking a look at some new items on the board. And Amareth gets the heart container. Woo.
At what point... Can I ask you a rule logistical question here for you, Rick?
Yeah, sure.
At what point can we request flashing turned off on restreams? Because that ether definitely is flashing.
Yeah, I really wish that it would be mandated to be off in race mode, but unfortunately, some people still, I guess, like it.
I already forgot what was in this cave here. In Mini World Cave.
Some medallion.
Alright, pod down for Pichu.
Nearly gets everything there, but just misses out on one. There's the mirror for P-Train, and that is where Amareth and Pichu needs to go because they're getting bottlenecked.
The more they just cover each other's tracks like they have been, the further ahead the Underachievers get.
Yeah, because look at what Sabotender's doing right now. Getting new information.
I was going to say falling down a pit.
Well, that too, but we're getting new information.
Alright, there's a map and an item. Hey, so I'm going to guess there's a map and an item in here.
And I think this is where Pichu,
Pichu
goes
goes
and does the
on
catfish that she was unable to do, as Amareth now steps in and does Ice Palace.
Moldorm, behave. I said behave.
Moldorm says no.
This isn't the choice, Moldorm. Whoa! Nice.
Yeah, that was really close. Sabotender finishing up with the fight, and we'll get
Hey,
a trip downstairs.
do you like the basement?
I do, because I get to take a break in a tense race situation. And Pichu gets nothing in reply, and we'll soon find out from Amareth that you need to be here now.
Honestly, they need to be here 5 minutes ago.
Well, yes. P-Train setting up the bomb jump over here to the other side. Good job.
Sabo might not have been comfortable with bomb jump either. I do know Sabo doesn't play as much as P-Train GFE these days. So it might just not be something in that he's in practice on, right?
Yeah, I know Sabotender has been a very, very busy person given all the things he's been up to between trips and stuff that he does in real life. So there's our third item right there, 300 rupees.
Excellent. So they can just get... So you were wrong. There were 2 items of no consequence.
So what that does mean, though, is that Cold Stare is going to be dropping a small key.
Or a map or a compass.
Okay, that is true. I think it's the map, because I think the compass was an iced tea. At this point, honestly, if I am... I don't like Amerit's health in this situation down to 2 hearts, but at this point, I tell my teammate probably to leave and come back and start scoping something else out. Like, the biggest thing is getting information for your teammate. All right, P-Train down to 3.5 hearts.
Really nice hammer fight so far, though.
Yeah.
This has been this has kind of been a masterclass in how to fight Cold Stare so far.
Yeah. He's using the sword as a protective item. And there's the key. So this is a can of Samaria Lock Dice Palace.
Yes, it is.
By the way, we're getting confirmation from Sabatender that it is Bombos for Turtle Rock.
I mean, that's a good thing for Sabatender. That's not a great thing for Meme Item right now.
Right. It's just more the fact that the Bombos being located on the Lake Hylia island. P-Train now knows he needs to get that.
Yes, he does. Hey, that would be nice for Cold Stare.
Yes, it would have, but there's the King of Samaria.
Nice Palace. Hey, Rick.
I do believe that means... does give us a hook shot away from go mode.
Hey, Rick.
I think you're trying to get me to...
There's a flute, too.
Mention something here. I think you're trying to get me to say something here.
We need a flute.
There's a hook shot!
Wow! Hook shot on... What? So, I would like to point out the unfortunate thing that Sabatender... I don't think Sabo's a hoverer. Or
no,
at least not
Sabatender is not.
I would like to point out that P-Train is a hoverer.
Yes.
We need a flute, and that hookshot's in a horrific spot. And Pichu, please be careful.
I think we're fine. Maybe not necessarily... Oh, whoa. Wow. Okay, now we're not fine. We're going to use that blue potion right away. By the way, what's the circumstance of this race?
If... Like what happens if who wins?
Yes.
Well, if Pichu and Sabo win, it goes to game 3.
That is correct.
Ameris and Pichu win, they win the series, and Meme Item goes on to play Crystal Roller Crew.
You know, that would have been funny if you had said that when we were in the Crystal Roller Room.
It would have been. But that
But instead, Sabatender was in the Roller Room.
That would have involved you asking me in about 3 minutes instead.
Leaf, that's... giving the idea that I can remember these things in 3 minutes.
I mean, I don't remember what we were talking about 3 minutes ago.
Cold Stare.
Probably not wrong.
And why we didn't have the half magic for that fight. Nice big key location.
Amaris showing off that,
Pichu.
yes, you can get out of the Cold Stare room.
It's going to check gate 45 first.
Hopefully Pichu checks Bombos.
I hope so. Based on the way that I think she is routing at this point, I think she does check Bombo's tablet.
There's at least one item left side swamp. Marith, please be careful. Is anyone else getting tired of low percent cold stare?
Amerith is getting tired of that red screen, but does have a fairy. I believe that was the fairy from the Stumpy, yes. There's the hook shot for Pichu, and Amerith's probably going, thank God.
Because that takes out the hover advantage, ideally. Because I know that was a concern for this team. Is they're playing P-Train.
I mean, you have to find the hook shot somewhere.
Yeah, but you don't want to do the... But you don't want to have it be blocking progression that you could get on a single trip.
You're right. And there's two items outside swamp. Also, I'd like to make it known. The only thing we're looking for in GT is the big key at this point.
That's correct. I don't know. At this point, we might... I've been known to do, like, Stalfos room looking for a sword. But other than that...
Right. Obviously, you're still going to be trying to find a sword for your teammate, perhaps, but there's no ice rod we need to find, no flute we need to find, so no annoying hookshot potential. Merritt's about to go pick up that hookshot right now as we speak, as P-Train gets ready to... And Pichu does the Specky as well.
We've completely ignored Sabatender and TR, by the way.
He's got nothing in here.
It's TR. It's really boring, actually.
I mean, Sabatender's got nothing in here. We don't see a sword change. We don't see a fluent. We don't see any particular other item that could come in the way here. So he's got nothing here.
Pretty much. Did anyone catch if he remembered to go down instead of up without the hookshot?
He did.
Oh, go to Maris getting Bombos.
Which is going to be good considering the fact that Pichu has not been up in the mountain yet. That also means Amerith is the first runner to have completed their coin collection.
It's also worth noting, Amerith is... Where is Amerith going?
Probably King's Tomb GYL.
Okay. This would be just Graveyard Ledge, because we did King's Tomb already.
Okay, then just GYL then. A bottle and 10 arrows, and Sabatender is, okay, safety doored.
Safety dooring. I would too, as a Master Sword.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that he safety doored first before taking that death, because that's not a fun ride back to down there.
It's not Spike Cave, Julo.
Yeah, we found out that there's a heart container in Spike.
If It's not on Trinex. I think by process of elimination across all 4 runners, the flute's on pedestal.
You might be right. Yeah, I think you might be right on that one. You might also be right, Ike here.
I forgot, Sabo doesn't have a hookshot, even though we were just talking about remembering to go down instead of up. I also want pizza. It's downstairs in my kitchen, and unfortunately we started commentary as it was baking.
Sabatender needs to be still a little careful here. So one thing I do want to know is we passed the hour mark as Sabatender faces off against Trinex. And I want to make sure that Sabatender gets through this fight before I say anything. Switches over to the hammer. And is finished with the Trinex. Okay. So at the 65-minute mark of this race, be sure to give our runners a follow. We have Amarith and Pichu on your left, and P-Train and Sabatender on the right. And why is that there?
Why is that there? So that's a shovel.
Why is that there? That is the shovel on Blue Pendant Trinex. So that adds another place that we can go and get some fun stuff.
Do you want to yell at another vanilla potential check?
I mean, the book was in the library. And Sabatender's doing Spike Cave. And
I mean, he wants revenge.
Loading up on the great goodies that are here inside Paradox. Amarith and Pichu are both in Swamp at this point.
I would have maybe sent somebody up the mountain.
Yeah, that would have been probably the more preferred battle here, but both of these runners will be finished off with Swamp real soon, and P-Train will let us know what's in the 4, or 3 that is, in Hookshot Cave that we haven't seen.
Meanwhile, nope, we're not going to go see our shovel check yet.
And also, please be sure to give our help on this race, Variety and Ike here, a big thank you for clicking the buttons and making the icons appear here on this race. I do appreciate all the help that we get on these matches.
Same. How lost would you and I be without them? We're already lost with them. And Ikir's right. Variety did this all solo for 15 minutes before Ikir joined in.
She's awesome. Single arrow to complete our set. I forgot that in that first chest. Heart container.
Peace fart.
A portion of a heart container. And the battle continues.
So, what I'm hearing is it is shovel or pedestal right now.
Alright, so you got disgusting and disgusting. Gotcha. B-Train's getting ready to do dungeon number 8. Pichu is heading off and doing dungeon number 8 as well. Amarith done with dungeon number 7.
Pichu's going for dungeon number 6.
I see 7 items like lit up for Pichu.
Right. Pichu has castle. I forgot about that.
And Sabatender currently working on dungeon number 7. For Pichu, it's a trip for revenge.
Revenge is a common theme in this run. There's really just not a lot to say about this.
There's one thing I want to say, but I'm waiting for the bottom left.
Does it involve the phrase, "you have a hammer"?
No. Although this is a painful fight, because all that was going on right there is Pichu was just bouncing it into the spikes. And unfortunately couldn't get much done with that fight. Now, Pichu, this is going to be where I want to see Pichu mirror and check the pedestal.
I mean, if you don't do it now, you're committing to a blind check, which I guess would be right up the levels of memes of this team, but...
And here we go. All right.
I mean, Pichu has to mirror regardless for save points.
And is this go mode for a marathon team? Well, not yet. They've yet to pick that up, and there's the flute.
Pedestal!
All right. So now they know that the flute is definitely on pedestal, so that means when Amarith goes into Turtle Rock, it's a go mode Turtle Rock.
Unfortunately, the Underachievers still have a significant lead on them.
How so?
For one, P-Train is halfway down Turtle Rock. Sabtender's already down Turtle Rock and is on the way to his last pendant. And they're still looking... Pichu still has to go up this mountain for the first time. Gamma, they're not in no mode. They haven't done enough Paradox Cave yet.
Yeah, the big thing here is Amarith has yet to do the can't get the Cane of Samaria in half magic, but once Amarith is done with this cave, they will be in no mode.
Hey, look, they're in no mode.
And there is the no mode. We're going to check just in case there's a sword here.
I mean, you have to, don't you? I'll be completely honest. If I'm in Me-Mine's shoes, I just don't touch Tower of Hera until I'm going to GT.
Fortunately, that's where Pichu is heading to right now, is the Tower of Hera. Ike here pointing out that the big key was vanilla in TR, so it's not much of a change in the ordinary. It's just, we know that Amarith and Pichu has zero reason to check the Mimic Cave. As Amarith tried to kick the block.
She likes to try and get that on restream. So
I think she was just a tiny bit south.
I think so. It's not an easy trick.
No, it's not. All right, there is the shovel for P-Train as Sabatender faces off against Dalmasar.
Still a tiny bit south. One silver arrow to the face, and Helmatar goes down on Sabatender's screen. I almost said Helmatender and Sabasar, so...
Now, here comes the all-important shovel check.
I'm dying to know what's on the shovel! Because we don't stop the flute.
It's red, but not the tempered we're looking for. At this point, they know they gotta pull the ped. Oh, wait. Magic Bat.
Wait, have we really not done Magic Bat on any screen?
I don't think we have seen it on either side, but we know definitely we haven't seen it on P-Train and Sabotender's side.
Sabo going, hey, remember that revenge trip for Moth Pichu just did? Sabo's doing it for Ice Palace.
Here comes my good old trip to Ice Palace. And Sabo, you've already done this section, so... Alright, so Twitch chat, you get it. A pedestal seed. So many of these have come through the years. We all get excited when we call for this pedestal seed. I mean, chat seems to swallow it up for whatever reason, because they love pain and misery.
I mean...
P-Train, he just is going to yell out to his teammate at this point. And I think at this point they already know.
I think they already know.
Is going to be the flute. And now they definitely know with that reading of the passage. Hooray! We had to do all the bosses anyway.
We did. It really does. Tracy M's right. You can't get excited for Ped in all dungeons.
I mean, you can't get excited for pedestal seeds, period, but I remember clips of me getting excited for when I finally got the Archer class back in the Key Sanity tournament in 2018.
Did you enjoy selecting the Archer class?
Yeah, because I think I was on commentary with Slim Kirby that race.
That was probably just a good commentary.
Yes, it was.
That's just a good time. You and Slim on comms? Yes, please.
Always is a good time. We gotta get Slim to do a commentary in the league sometime. Might not happen this season, but maybe season 7. Alright, so what medallion did we need to get into Meyer? I guess we're not going to find out. I mean, it doesn't really matter all that much.
Where are the swords?
GT.
Why must you say the correct answer?
Because I thought that was what I was brought on to do. It was double bombos.
Told you. Why did you doubt me?
Because the shadow underneath your leaf just had enough doubt cast upon it that I didn't know if you were going to be right or wrong.
Variety says you weren't convinced. You're still not convinced.
I mean, I need a heavy amount of convincing.
Really nice Meyer 2. Okay, correction. Almost a really nice Meyer 2 from P-Train, and then the Popo decided it didn't want to.
I'll give that a B-.
Really nice hammer. Try next phase 1. And we're through phase 1 with a hammer, and we have our small key from the crystal roller room.
And Sabotender's about to go pick up the hook shot and finish Swamp.
Just had a cleanup to do, you know?
Alright, so at this point...
It's a Godmire.
At this point, I do think it is setting in a little more that it's, as far as these two teams are concerned, P-Train's going to be the first one up the mountain. Still has to do Hera, but that's going to be a quick check, especially with the Hera pot. Still needs to do Castle Tower, but will be the first one into G. Whoa!
What was that?
I have never seen that before. I mean, I have run that thing off the block before, but I didn't know you could go in the door like that.
Okay, sorry, just... Didn't mean to interrupt you there. It's just,
I think we've just been flabbergasted by what P-Train just did right there.
I mean, it was more exciting than that Vitreous fight, let's say that.
I mean, Vitreous, Silver Arrows, done deal. Good night. I do think it's starting to settle in at this stage. That it's going to be P-Train first into GT. Pichu is going to be the second one in, but does have Castle Tower already done. And then it's going to be Sabatender and Amerit to try to figure out what we have as far as the split for these teams.
Again, I would have... If I were Amerith right now, I get that Amerith was looking for a sword, but I would have gone to Pedestal and done this first. Oh hey, the third member of Sir Findy's here.
Yes, they are. As they
Hi, GFE.
watch on and try to cheer on their teammates, try to see if they can't force a Game 3 in this series.
I will say that we will not be seeing the third member of Meme Item in chat, because I know for a fact they're at work.
Yeah, as far as both teams are concerned, I think we've really just been seeing deaths, unfortunately, for both sides. Pichu with a death to Mothula, which didn't help out. And I know Sabatender taking a death to Coldsteer didn't help either. And Amerit taking a fall to Moldorm, which means we're going to have simultaneous Moldorms up on the top.
And Peach will be the first member of Meme Item to the flute. And down goes Moldorm for both runners. P-Train has Crystal. Crystal's following for Mareth. And Saptender on the way to Argus.
And Pichu's about to pull the pedestal to get that flute, so... Alright, so as P-Train gets ready to go into GT, it's time as P-Train has to run over and get into the portal. Pick a number between 1 and 22. Tell me where you believe the big key is going to be inside of GT. And Leaf, pick a number.
Am I picking today's lottery numbers or something?
Yes, you can pick a number.
But, no. I usually go with number 13, nice in the middle, enough to get the runner sweating, enough to also give them the, sigh of relief that it's not on the Ice Armless fight. It's more fun to it's more fun to say it in, Randomizer when you're also saying a sigh of relief about, Ice Trinex.
So 13 you say, so I think in that case, I will... You know what, Leaf, I'm going to go with 5. I'm going to go with 5.
5, huh?
So at this point, P-Train has a little bit of an advantage. Pichu's getting ready to go into Mire. It's going to find out that it's a god in Mire, but...
It's not one.
I want to say that at this point, I think the Underachievers have a slight advantage, but I don't
Not much
know
of one.
for certain.
It's not much of one. There's
It's
P-Train's execution advantage. There's the fact that P-Train's in the lead, but it's gonna be close.
yeah, it's ever so slight, and it's not 5.
And I'm sorry, it's not 5. And yeah, Pichu having done Castle Tower actually puts this really close.
That's the reason why I can't tell. I really can't tell. It feels like a slight advantage for Underachievers, but we're talking just fractions of seconds here. Because at this point, it feels like Sabotender's going to be 4, and Merit's going to be 3. Who's 1 and 2?
The way you said it made me think who's on first, so.
There's our big key and compass room. And 0 swords to show.
Okay, good. He has keys.
Yeah, I know you worry about that when you mirror out of the compass room, but 2 keys, we can climb. Pichu's about to tell Amerith that this is a Godmire.
Our tracker
And
wants a
is-
game 3, and GFE
Yes.
also wants a game 3. I think GFE's wanting game 3 is completely understandable, given that GFE wants to play game 3.
And I think the other thing is, everyone else in chat is playing Who's on First.
But what's on second?
I don't know.
He's on third. We're not talking about him.
What's wrong with third base?
Really nice gauntlet so far out of Petrie.
I expect nothing different. I expect nothing different. Although I don't want to see a death.
No one wants to see those. We've seen plenty of those today.
Yeah, there's nothing more devastating than taking a death in the gauntlet here of GT. All right, Pichu finishing up with the eyeballs, about to go into GT.
Amerith, unfortunately, went up the stairs just a little too soon. Did not get spooky action off. Amerith entering Vitreous. Sabtender entering the path to Vitreous.
Pichu climbing up the mountain. And this, I think, really comes down to how Meme Item routes this upcoming GT. This really could come down to how they route it. If Pichu starts hard left, that gives P-Train time.
Rick,
And a Merit Waffle Housing.
Twitch chat's being Twitch chat.
I mean, Twitch chat wants game 3s and pedestal seeds and pain and misery, and we just wanted to have fun. Are you having fun, Leaf?
I am having fun. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing perfectly well here, having fun commentating this match, and we are master sorting our way to Ganon today.
I will say, I do agree. I do kind of want Game 3s because the tension in Game 3 is nice and high.
Oh,
Makes for
Amerith.
really good content.
Unfortunately, forgetting for just a second. Luckily, realized it before rolling into GT. Or the Harrow at that point. Alright, what way does Pichu go? Do we continue on this path? No, we are not.
Okay, I like this a little bit of... Actually, Sabo's going for arrows? Just to be safe in GT, but...
Yeah, going up with 6 arrows. I guess I can understand this play. Alright, Pichu heading over here towards, unfortunately, the wrong side of this, as Amerith is going to go and find the big key first. I guess if you're really cheering on Meme, you want to see a sword pop up in this left side, but... Where are the swords?
Pyramid Fairy left, and cutscene chest.
Okay, I was thinking checkerboard, but... Yeah, oh, wow. You saw that hesitation. As Sabatender heads over towards GT, knows where the big key is.
Also knows the key layout.
Just,
I will
have
be
to
watching
able to
Sabo's route very closely here.
Yep. This should be a hard right side.
Namely, does Sabo pick up a key? I do not want to see another race decided by forgetting to grab a small key.
You're right. I can see why you're concerned about that. Marith up the gauntlet. 5 hearts remain. 4.5 for Pichu. B-Train is about to finish up with the Agate Tower.
And Sabo getting roughed up a little bit by this Gibdo room. Sabo's remembering to grab a key.
Huzzah! Alright. So it's going to be Master Sword, Silvered, fights for both. And apparently there was a spooky switch that was done in GT earlier. I completely missed it with the Marith.
I don't even think I noticed it because I'm so used to it from Marith.
Alright, 2-cycle fight here with the Lambos for Amerith.
The League Founder Fear Agent is correct. Master Sword Ganon is not free, especially in an elimination race. The tension that you have going into those is not good.
Yeah, this is a tense situation no matter what. Especially with what wound up happening throughout this seed. We've seen deaths from all 4 of these runners throughout this, and Ganon is not an easy foe to deal with, especially Blue Mail. Nice double on the Samaria there for P-Train.
I'm loving these Samaria strats from P-Train, by the way.
Beautiful setup here for stage 2. It's going to get 8 of the hits into Ganon at this point. Nice switch over to the Burner just to protect yourself. Health is going to be very important. That's 9. That will be 11. And here will be 12. Nope. Oh, no, we do get 12. I thought the bat was going to hit first. So P-Train will set the time. Right now, it looks like it's going to be close for second and third, but it's going to be a Marathon Pichu either way.
It is.
Silver's coming up here for Ganon. For P-Train, that's 2 hits on him. And there's the final hit for P-Train as P-Train will set the time and the tone.
Just gotta get through this fanfare and cross one bridge.
So I do think it's going to be Pichu second, since Amarith still has to do Castle Tower.
I would agree. And that will be an official time of 1:35:46 for P-Train.
And unfortunately for Meme Item, I think Sabotender's too close at this point.
It will come. I think it will come down to Sabotender executing on Ganon.
Yes.
If Sabotender gets through Ganon cleanly, I think Underachievers will get it. But it will be close.
Amarith into the Castle Tower fight. I guess I just had been spending the entire seed not realizing that P-Train was playing with vanilla game music.
I mean,
you just get so used to MSU packs at this point.
I mean, I know. One, I know that P-Train and Sabo are both using vanilla audio.
Mm-hmm.
And GFP's right. Getting through Master Ganon cleanly is no joke.
It really isn't. Master Sword Ganon is not an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination. All right, Pichu getting ready to drop into Ganon. This is going to set the bar.
It will set the bar if Amarith finishes ahead of Sabo.
And she should at this point.
What will happen is whatever the difference is between P-Train and Pichu in this case will be the difference that Sabotender has to finish within if Sabo is the last finisher. Because we do not finish based on which team finishes first. We finish on average.
Yep. So that's why it's important what the gap is going to be between what appears to be P-Train and Pichu. And Sabotender going to head up into Castle Tower here to finish that off. We see Cape Strats for Pichu.
And wall hugging strats. Unfortunately, Pichu did get a second phase 2 hit in. So, Pichu.
All right, bottom left here to up to the top right, and the warps you see from Ganon are going to be the same for everyone.
Yeah, there will be the same number of warps between there'll be the same number of warps on each hit of phase 3 for all 4 runners. That is seeded.
Yep, so too is the amount of the blue balls we see from the Aga fight here.
Schulzer is correct. It is hard to get one cycle. The only reason I say unfortunately is it is a time difference between P-Train and Pichu in this case.
And missing the opportunity to get a hit right there is unfortunate, and another opportunity to get hit right there for Pichu, as you've already seen the first place come through. If you're looking at the race room, you already know that P-Train has set the bar. A little tight right there. That's going to negate the opportunity.
These are not helping.
They're not helping. Unfortunately, I think Pichu's nerves are not helping either.
Yeah, this looks like race nerves.
Yeah, this is a uh-oh, what do I do? What do I do type of moment here. But there's the final hit. No, that's not the final hit. That's number 3.
That was 3.
Yeah, this is unfortunately very unfortunate. Stage 4 for Pichu. There's going to be the 4th hit, and this will set the bar for what the time is. So, if Amerith ends up getting 3rd, and that's where we stand right now, it looks possible. As Pichu comes across the line, the GG's there, 1:40.05. So, that's a 4-minute and 19-second gap. So, if Amerith gets the 3rd place here, that means Sabatender has 4 minutes and 19 seconds from that point to finish. Otherwise, it's Meme Item getting the victory.
Unfortunately, there is not 4 minutes of difference between Meme Item and Underachievers right now.
Yep, exactly.
So
At this point, barring catastrophe, this races the Underachievers to lose. And
That doesn't
America
help.
ends up having a ferry, but this is time. These are seconds that we're losing here.
Exactly.
We're going to go ahead and use the cave. Get a couple of hits in. Hug the wall.
Why do I have to listen to one of my favorite tracks from La Mulana get completely destroyed by Siva Gunner right now?
Because that's what you're doing.
Because I signed up to commentate on a marathon race and she's using a meme pack.
I mean, do we expect anything different from Amerith?
No.
I mean, those who saw Amerith at SpeedGaming Live, do you expect anything different? Alright, there's the silvers for Amerith. Let's see how this fight goes.
Missed the first one. Just precious seconds.
Yep. That's going to be a double at least. This will be a single. We got to do one more round. As Sabatender drops into the fight. So if Sabatender is clean, he will be fine. So there's going to be the 4th hit, and now that is it for Amerith. So Meme Item will finish 2-3. As Sabatender drops into the fight here. Amerith comes through, and there's the finish right there. 1:42.25. So Sabatender has to finish by 1:46.44 in order to claim the victory for the Underachievers. He's got 4 minutes and 19 seconds from Amerith's finish. That's 1:46.44.
And please don't die. Oh, you have a fairy. Okay, you have a fairy.
I was wondering what he was going to try to do with that bomb right there. But this is where, again, if Sabatender can get through this fight, he doesn't need to be clean, but he cannot take any deaths, he cannot take any falls.
He has a fairy.
Now, this right here is not a death because he has the fairy, as you pointed out.
One minute has elapsed.
Yep, again, 1:46.44 is the time to beat for Sabatender.
And
Down to
if
3
Sabo's good in
hearts.
this phase 3,
Just needs to be careful here.
and there's our 3 minutes remaining point. 3 minutes to survive phases 3 and 4.
Yep, just be careful
If
to
you
fire
had-
back because it's going to curve back up.
If you asked me from that freeze frame at 3 minutes, if Sabo could do it, I would say absolutely.
Yep, he's just got to be careful of unfortunate hits by the bats, and he would be fine. All right, stage 4. Again, 1:46:44 is the time to beat. Pulls out the lamp, does not get torch glitch. Just going to pull out to the fire rod now as Ganon goes here to the bottom right.
Gets to hit number 2.
Goes up here to hit number 3. Hit number 3. Going to pull out
This
the
is
fire rod
Sabo's-
one more time. Gets it
Sabo
down
has
to the
this.
bottom right. And that will do it as the Underachievers are going to force a game 3.
So get your GGs in chat for our winners of this race. The Underachievers. P-Train and Sabotender. And it will be going to game 3, and we do know who the pairs will be, because one of the rules of playoffs is the same pair cannot play twice.
Yep, so that would be... So who will it be for Meme Item? It's going to be Pichu and Zeruvian, right?
That no, it will be a Marith and Zeruvian on
Okay.
It will be a Marith and Zeruvian on Meme Item side, playing GFE and Sabotender on Underachiever side for game 3, as we
All right.
welcome in to this commentary booth the winners and the runners-up, P-Train, Sabotender, Pichu, and Amarith.
Yo,
GG's, everybody.
GG's, everyone.
So GFE says in chat I can announce the mode 2. Like, we already mentioned it at this point in
Anyone's
time. Just
surprise.
go ahead and announce that we're doing Randomizer in game 3.
Yeah, please, somebody just to confirm the Randomizer so we don't have to keep teasing.
When Sabo's done came in, all I could hear in my headset was just happy GFE noises from miles and miles away.
yeah. I bet. I heard him screaming in my DMs as well.
So, Sabotender, guess what?
What?
You get to do an Randomizer co-op.
Yo, that's actually something I did practice. So, maybe it'll actually work out. Because, boy, I really make my teammates sweat here. It was a bit of a tough one for me, but managed to kind of come through in the end there.
All 4 of you made us sweat at some point in time. So let's go ahead and start by talking about, since you brought it up, Sabotender, you versus Cold Stare.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that was really unfortunate. I didn't feel super good about going into Ice Palace with only 5 hearts. P-Train and I talked about it, and then I got just far enough into it that I said I can't bail now. It was after getting the mirror that I thought maybe I'll just peace out right now. But I stuck with it, and then I started to regret that decision. And then we get down to Cold Stare, and they just bullied me. It was a slaughter. So it did not go well.
All right, let's go ahead and talk to your teammate. P-Train, you versus Mothula.
Yeah, so like we were talking about it, it was kind of funny that we had simultaneous deaths, like we planned it. But Sabo was having issues routing ice. He was like, wait a minute, where do I go? What do I do? Because there were no keys. And so he had to get creative with bomb jumps, and he didn't know some of them. And so I asked him, I'm fighting Moth, and I'm like, he's been talking about all this trouble. I'm like, so where are you now? He's like, oh, I'm fighting Cold Stare. And I was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, how are you fighting Cold Stare? So I'm thinking, how did he route ice? And I just lost track of my health, and yeah, I just wasn't as focused as I needed to be. I wasn't invincible by any means, but I did have enough health to make me feel cozy. I could probably just not pay attention and kill Moth, and yeah, I got a little overzealous there, and paid the price for it.
All right, so I'll turn to Zeke, and you can go ahead and ask the meme item.
Well, first, I would like to point out our tracker saying that even though it was Mothula killing you, Cold Stare effectively killed both of you. Sabotender's Cold
It
Stare
sure
killed
did.
both members at once.
Absolutely, yes, 100%.
That's even better for the story then.
It's
Yeah.
like an RPG boss.
Yeah,
Is that effectively a double kill?
I would count it as one. Yeah, he definitely took both of us out.
Double
Since we're
KO.
Since we're talking boss deaths, Pichu, how upset were you when you found that sword after dying to Mothula?
Honestly, I swear. And I was like, I'm not going back, I'm leaving. Like, I was like, I should do the chest there. I was like, nah, I'm going to kill Moth first. What is the chance that I find hearts and, a sword? And, I found a sword.
Well, and one like small comfort through the seed is I knew like we were on like uncomfortable equipment to be doing some of these fights with. So I figured you all were probably in a similar boat. Like I had the fairy in a bottle from Stumpy, but Sabo didn't. And that's kind of out of the way. Like even though you know it's there and you want it, it's kind of hard to justify going that far out of your way for just a fairy in a bottle. So I kind of thought, I'm like, they're fighting the same fights we are, because like the pre-Dark World, it looked like it was going to be such an open seed. Like, oh, what a great co-op seed. We're going to be doing different things. No. When you get to the Dark World, you got to find the mushroom.
You're right
You
on
got to lead
top of
that
each
to the
other.
flippers to the mirror to Kane and Hookshot, and then hopefully you have pedestal knowledge. We weren't able to route that in. But it
That
ended up being a
reminds me,
super
Peach.
linear seed.
That reminds me, P-Train. What were your thoughts right after you saved and quit with the purple chest when Sabotender told you about the flippers on the mushroom turning?
Honestly, like I didn't hate it, because I already had in my mind that I was going to do purple chest into Ice Rod Cave because Sabo wanted to go get his boots, so he passed on that. Yeah, it worked out because then I wanted to have my water walk for the Zora area, but since Sabo had flippers, I was like, oh well, you just do hobo into ice and we're good. So I actually I thought it was a minor convenience actually. I did forget I wasn't calculating Zora ledge though, so I'm glad that I didn't have to do any splash delete shenanigans. But no, I didn't mind it so much.
To be completely honest, Rick and I thought that you and Sabo were communicating enough that you knew he was checking the mushroom as you were there, and thought you were going to wait the extra couple of seconds to know if you needed it. But,
And then all of a sudden you saved and quit, and it turned out to be nope.
and you made us look like fools, which is even funnier.
Also part of that though is I did the Smith chain before I did Thieves Town. So my thought was if I need the mushroom, I'll get it when I'm cleaning up Thieves Town.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's what Chad was
that-
suggesting.
Yeah. And that was another reason why I didn't really mind so much, because in my mind I hadn't skipped Hammer Pegs. I was just like, there's no need to do it right now since I'm doing Thieves Town next anyways. So yeah, and again, I'm not really paying attention to the Zora ledge at that point. That was a miss on my part that could have been me, but yeah, I didn't mind so much.
I do want to ask Pichu a question here. Your thoughts about getting bullied up to the halfway up that ledge outside of Dark Potion?
What the hell happened? Like,
That
sorry
rope
if I
is
swore, but like, come on, like I don't know what happened. I was like, I told Emma I have to save and quit. Sorry, I glitched into the wall somehow.
that rope is known to be able to knock you right into the teleport pixel.
I do not know.
It's not fun when it happens.
Yeah, that was a great surprise I had back in the spring 2017 tournament when it decided it was going to do the same thing to me, except for it put me fully on the ledge. I was able to get down, but unfortunately in your case, you were halfway up.
Mm-hmm.
P-Train, that Meyer block, what the heck?
Yeah!
Yeah, that's the thing that happens. It's possible in Meyer and in Ice Palace actually. Before the pre-cold stare room, if you need to drop a Samaria block, it happens a lot to me in Meyer because I try not to overshoot my dashes. If I have to, with my dash lines, if I have to make a mistake, I always try to undercut rather than overcut, because if you overcut, you're losing time twice. So if I'm gonna mess up that dash and not be flush with the block, I'm always gonna be closer to the shooter. So the shooter, like nudging on that shooter dashing down, pushes me into the block, and sometimes you just yeet the block. But as long as you start your next dash and you get it before the block actually hits the ground, the game doesn't update the block's position, so it thinks it's still on the switch. So
We
you're
had
able to
never-
dash through the door and the block.
We had never seen that before.
Yeah, it's
and our
not the
tracker
first time I've
clipped it
done
for
it.
you. So
I mean, I've dashed into that block before. I just didn't realize you'd go through the door in the way that you did.
Yeah, just start a dash immediately. Like the moment you kick it, just start dashing again. And it's not even like that tight, honestly.
And Pichu, the other question I had to ask about is you and your breadsmith buddy.
I had to follow her to kill that guy. Come on.
Trying to take him into the castle.
unfortunately, this is not entrance. You can't take him into dungeons.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I figured on my way there. I was like, does it work? I'm there. I'm gonna try it. No, I was like, oh, I need to turn into Smith. So yeah.
For the record, Pichu, you could have gone over to Pod and gone onto the screen with Kiki instead and just gone directly into Pod. Because Kiki will delete the Smith for you.
Think of that. To be honest.
It's tough thinking of those things in the heat of the moment.
Because I was like, I'm going to pod. Like that was my way to think about it. So
Mhm.
Also,
Right, yeah.
I always get entrance and item rando mixed up with what you can and cannot do with the Smith.
Understandably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wish there was a little bit of... I understand why they're different, but I do wish there was a little bit of...
Consistency.
Yeah.
So, honestly, getting to this race here, I think probably one of the bigger differences, yeah, there's some deaths on both sides, but I think what it came down to is the bottleneck with the mirror, because the Underachievers went into Ice Palace sooner, and unfortunately, I think where this race kind of went different is me Mitem kind of covering up each other's tracks by completing other dungeons, so just put Underachievers a little bit ahead on that path towards the finish line.
Yeah, I was actually worried it might be a bit of the opposite situation for us because, and we were talking about this when we were waiting for the delay to catch up. But like Sabo's death in ice, like I felt like I had a plan in my mind, where like I was gonna kind of push the seed forward and let Sabo clean some stuff up. But when he died in ice, and there was an item left there, I felt like I needed to go to ice, which pushed Sabo up to the mountain. And so he's like scouting new stuff, which we need to do, but also like he hasn't done pod, he hasn't done he's not able to do swamp because he doesn't have the hook shot yet. So like that's a dungeon he's gonna have to clean up. I was worried that I was getting too ahead in dungeons. So yeah, I was worried that we had the opposite problem actually.
Speaking of a hookshot, I will admit Rick and I had a pretty good chuckle at the fact that the player on the mountain for your team is the one who can't hover, and the one who finds the hookshot is not on the mountain and can hover. We did get a pretty good chuckle out of that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun hookshot location.
Yeah.
By the way, I just found the other two swords.
Ooh, where were
Okay,
they?
so Chad
That one
wants
has
to
to
know
be
where
a
these
GP.
swords are.
There's one in Rando Room,
Oh, sorry, PG.
and the other one is in Meyer lobby.
Oh.
Oh,
of
okay.
course.
I thought it was going to be cutscene chest.
Because why not with a God Meyer?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I checked Meyer Shed hoping for a sword, and but I skipped checkerboard. That was about all I was willing to do.
yeah, like
and that's Go ahead.
go ahead. Okay. Like I was like, I forgot the Quake in pod. And I was like, okay, if it's Quake, I'm checking checkerboard. If not, I'm only checking Meyer Shed. And we were lucky it wasn't Quake.
Yeah. No, I actually, Pichu, you were the one that went to you did left side in GT, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was watching the restream. I'm like, man, if I was in your shoes, like I probably would have just YOLO'd Rando Room, hoping for a sword. Especially if if Amaranth's calling it out, and she's done Compass Room, and you know that there's not a sword there.
I mean, I could have. That's true. But
I
I
think this
Then-
came
then
down to.
then Amaranth just feels bad because she'll never get that.
Never get that sword.
I think this kind of came down to the race time, heat of the moment type of thing, just like the other situation there, where gotta go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
That's what it felt
maybe
like
the
for
story's
most of
on
it.
Like maybe the story's on the climb as well, so like we don't know at that point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so game 3, GFE pretty much gets the choice, and I guess at this point we can now say 100% certain it's Randomizer. So GFE Sabatender, you ready for some fun?
Yeah, I think so. Randomizer is a fun mode, so yeah, we're gonna have a good time with it. Yeah, looking forward to that one. So hopefully he can pull it off.
Wait, Randomizer, I thought you were playing GFE's favorite mode, spoiler.
Yeah, me too.
Unfortunately, I believe I'm sorry. You guys have changed your name twice, and you guys are still Spherefinity to me. But I'm pretty sure the Underachievers pilot happened to have already run twice.
That's true. Yes.
Yes.
We'd be without our pilot. It would be the blind leading the blind in that one, unfortunately.
So
No, actually, I want to respond to a comment in chat. Like Sabo and I established in voice that because GFE and I made a mess of the first game, Sabo's having to come in here in game 2 and 3 and like whip us into shape.
Yeah, you
Like
guys.
he's hard carrying now.
I
I mean,
don't
look
know.
at this. He found mushroom. He found flippers. He found mirror. He found cane.
He finished
I was
last.
just the
yeah,
IT in
yeah,
one
he
or two.
knows.
He died to cold
But the-
stare.
He died to Gold Stare. Yeah, clearly expert gamer here.
But the most important thing is that you finished faster than 4 minutes and 19 seconds ahead of behind Amerith.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, just barely squeaked it out.
I mean, it made for a really tense finish here. So
Most definitely.
There
Yeah.
haven't been that many of those this entire season. I feel like it's always been a lot of 1 and 3 finishes, 1 and 3 finishes. There haven't been a lot of 1 and 4s. Where it
Mhm.
really turns into that nail biter, like, oh god, everyone's watching the clock and counting the average.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah.
And
It
just
shows
taking a look at the.
Mm.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. Oh, sorry. We're all talking over each other. I'll
we're
be
all
quiet.
talking over each other. Sorry, Sabo, you're answering a question. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say that it just shows how how much competition there is in this in the open league. That we got so many great runners here.
What-
That I'm done. I'm sorry.
What I do want to say here, and this is up on the screen right now, is the evenness of the Underachievers with the 128 and the 127 on the items, and whereas the meme items 135 and 119.
Ooh.
What you trying to say there?
I think he's trying to say that I didn't grab the fillet. So.
Yeah. I stole it from you.
How dare you?
All right, any idea when Game 3 is going to be?
Not a clue. We've got a problem with scheduling on that one. It's going to be a miracle to get a live race figured for that one, just because schedules are going to be so hectic.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
going
especially-
this weekend for some of us. Like,
Yeah, especially considering what you got going on this weekend, which, go ahead, the floor is yours, Amerith, if you want to go ahead and plug that.
yeah, just real quick. This will be over on a different network, over on the Zelda Speedruns network. We are going to be running a charity stream for Ricky Okokiri, who had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So we're trying to raise funds for his medical bills and just anything that he has to take care of in general while he's going through treatment. So we got a bunch of really awesome people lined up to do various amounts of speedruns over the course of Saturday and Sunday coming up here, and even Aries popping in with a good old, the only non-randomizer run, a good old NMG run, and you can vote for either 100%, any percent, or even make him do low percent, as he's been dreading. Make him do that.
I will
And
say
that is-
slow percent legacy, not the heart deletion one.
And that's going to be this weekend over on Zelda on twitch.tv/Zelda Speedrun. So if you have an opportunity to watch sometime this weekend, it's going to be again around 9 a.m. Eastern, both Saturday and Sunday. I know Leaf and I are part of this thing, and Yamarith, you've been doing a great amount of work on this as well.
Oh, I've been freaking out about the entire thing to make sure that it comes together all proper,
So I think at this point, let's go ahead and wrap things up. Any final thoughts, meme item?
It's Randomizer time.
I got to sit
And-
and watch. Because I don't want
Any
to
close-
dead wreck again.
And any closing thoughts for the Underachievers?
Just GG's to these guys. I'm looking really forward to Game 3. It's going to be a close one, I'm sure. And thanks to everybody on the staff here who put this restream together. Really appreciate all of you taking the time out to volunteer and do this.
Yeah,
And
second that.
with that, be sure to give all of our runners a follow. Leaf, send us on out of here, won't you please?
Yeah, follow the runners. Thank you, Ikir, Variety, tracking. Especially Variety for the first 15 minutes, solo tracking 4 people. So, Rick, thank you for inviting me on for his commentary. And, Sabo, Amerith, I just want to say I really hope that your Randomizer race seed is better than one that I played last night.
Don't tell GFE anything about it because he
Don't
may still
tell-
run that one.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
say anything. Sabo, you should offer to co-op it with GFE.
Yeah.
Oh, go for it, please, dude. Please. I encourage this.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
And you know what, the Leaf, I do actually hope that that's the seed that we kind of get. So
Just because you want them to have to, you want the commentators to have to call that kind of thing.
oh yeah, you guys will have a blast, I'm sure.
But anyways, if you enjoy the content we've put, the racing content we've got, follow SpeedGaming Network. We've got how many channels, Rick?
We do have 8 channels. 6 of them are usually the ones we press into service, plus the language channels as well. The one thing I also do want to remind people is to follow everything that's going on with the league, both here in the Open League and in the Invitational. You can go to ALTTPRleague.com.
And I guess the last question is, do we have any upcoming races tonight still, or is that the last one for tonight?
Nope, we're done.
Yay.
So next races we'll have our one is tomorrow afternoon between Blue Trance Group and Cytic Psychos for the Open League, and that'll be at 1:10 in the afternoon. As well as a race at 1:10 in the afternoon between Bratwurst Buddies and Last Locationeers, and a race tomorrow night between Your Mom's Favorite Rando Team and Don't Forget to Track Us at 10:40 p.m. I imagine Rick will get those assigned to SpeedGaming channels overnight.
Yes.
But yeah, stay tuned tomorrow for some more fun league actions. Check out the channels as they're live for other tournament action, other racing action. And I believe that'll do it for us, Rick. I think we should have a great night, everybody.
Yeah, go ahead and watch whatever you plan on watching tonight. Enjoy the link to the past Randomizer League. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.